In 1939, most fighter aircraft looked the same. One engine, one propeller, one pilot sitting behind it. Then Lockheed rolled out something that looked completely wrong. According to U.S. Army Air Corps design records held at the National Archives, the new aircraft had two engines, two tail booms, and a central cockpit pod. It looked less like a fighter and more like a science experiment. Its designation was P-38 Lightning. Even before it flew, critics inside the Army Air Corps called it impractical, overly complex, and impossible to maintain in combat conditions. Some pilots refused to fly it at all. They would all be proven wrong. The P-38 was born from a problem no one else could solve. According to Army Air Corps requirements issued in 1937, the United States needed a fighter that could intercept high-altitude bombers, fly long distances over ocean, carry heavy armament, maintain performance above 25,000 feet. Single-engine fighters simply could not do this. So Lockheed engineers did something radical. They split the aircraft in half. Two Allison V-1710 engines were mounted in separate booms, giving redundancy. If one engine failed, the plane could still fly. The cockpit sat between them, carrying concentrated firepower in the nose. 4 .50 caliber machine guns and a 20mm cannon, all firing straight ahead. No convergence problems, no spread. Everything hit exactly where the pilot aimed. The Lightning's first combat appearances were disastrous. According to 8th Air Force combat reports, early P-38 units in Europe suffered high losses. Engines failed in cold weather. Compressibility issues caused pilots to lose control in dives. German fighters exploited its weaknesses. Many commanders wanted the aircraft withdrawn. By 1943, the P-38 was quietly labeled a failure in Europe. But the story didn't end there. While Europe struggled with the Lightning, the Pacific told a different story. According to 5th Air Force records, the Pacific theater demanded long range above all else. Vast oceans, sparse bases, missions measured in thousands of miles. The P-38 thrived here. Its twin engines provided safety over water. Its range exceeded anything Japan could field. And at altitude, it outperformed most Japanese fighters. Japanese pilots quickly learned to fear the distinctive silhouette. They called it the forked-tailed devil. On April 18, 1943, the P-38 would prove its true value. According to mission records declassified by the U.S. Navy and Army Air Forces, American intelligence learned the exact flight path of Admiral Isoroku Yamamoto, architect of Pearl Harbor. The mission required fighters to fly over 400 miles, intercept at a precise minute, and return, all without being detected. Only one aircraft could do it. 16 P-38 Lightnings launched from Guadalcanal. They flew at wave-top height to avoid radar, navigated entirely by dead reckoning, and climbed only at the last moment. They arrived exactly on time. Yamamoto was killed. The Japanese Navy lost its most brilliant strategist. No other fighter in the world could have completed that mission. Japanese fighters had one critical weakness: range. According to Japanese Army Air Force operational logs, most fighters could not escort bombers or patrol for extended periods. Pilots had minutes, not hours. The P-38 could loiter. American pilots waited above airfields, ambushed returning fighters low on fuel, and disengaged at will. By 1944, Japanese commanders ordered pilots to avoid the Lightning entirely unless they had numerical superiority. Even then, survival was not guaranteed. The P-38 did more than fight. According to Army Air Force's reconnaissance unit histories, it served as a photo reconnaissance platform, a bomber escort, a ground attack aircraft, a night fighter. Some versions carried cameras instead of guns and flew alone deep into enemy territory. Others carried bombs and rockets, destroying shipping, trains, and airfields. It was not glamorous. It was indispensable. The P-38 never received the fame of the P-51. It was expensive, complex, difficult to fly well. But according to post-war U.S. Army Air Force's assessments, it accounted for more Japanese aircraft destroyed than any other U.S. Army fighter. Its pilots scored some of the highest kill counts in the Pacific. And yet, after the war, it faded from public memory because it did not fit the myth. The P-38 was not perfect. It was specialized. It succeeded where others could not because it was designed for a problem no one else solved. According to aviation historian John Stanaway, the Lightning proved that air superiority is not about one perfect aircraft, but about matching the right machine to the right war. In the Pacific, the P-38 did exactly that. The plane that was supposed to fail ended up changing the course of the Pacific Air War. It flew farther, it hit harder, it stayed longer. And when history demanded the impossible, it was already there.